Remember, as much as you might be suffering in this position when you're on the bottom, you have to think about your safety first, in the sense that if you give me an opportunity, not only can I go after the mount, I can also attack you directly off of this position. Now remember, primarily when you're underneath somebody, when you're in a bad situation, think of this order. Protect your face. We're not punching each other, so maybe don't worry about that as much, but actually I always worry about that. Protect your face, protect your neck, protect your arms, protect your position. Protect your neck. The reason why Chuck or anybody else on the bottom right here is protecting their neck is because I can definitely go ahead and make an attack after that. Okay, so if my opponent forgets to protect their neck, if they bring both hands down, especially if I have such a nasty knee on belly right now that they're desperate to get this off, they don't think they can get this with one arm, they bring the second arm up. Remember, hands come down here, the head and neck are undefended. And that is my opportunity to go after the baseball bat choke. Okay? Now, the first grip for the baseball bat choke was already set up in the beginning, lesson number 2 on this course, by the fact that I had my thumb inside of the collar, the blade of my wrist against the neck, and my knuckles are down on the ground. Okay? My knuckles are down on the ground. I could do a stand and put weight on it right now, although usually I don't, because I'm afraid of somebody hyperextending my arm. I'm not afraid of that right now, because Chuck's brought his arms down to here. He's not defending his neck. He certainly doesn't have any offense on this arm. He's more concerned about getting this knee off the belly. The second grip is going to come in like so. My palm is going to be up. It stays facing my opponent. I'm going to slide in now 4 fingers and reach through and grab my opponent's collar. I'm going to keep reaching through until A, the blade of my wrist on my pinky side is close to my opponent's neck. My knuckles are on the ground here, and my hands are touching them very close, okay? Now, sometimes we call this the baseball choke or the baseball bat choke because of my grips, okay? Again, our whole knee on belly, our hands were facing this way, and my grips are like so, palms touching each other, or our hands touching each other right now, as if I was holding a baseball bat, or a samurai sword, or a tennis racket, or one of these type of grips right here, okay? So saying baseball bat choke reminds us of how the grip is supposed to be. The closer you can get your hands together, the better. So, gone here, he's brought the hands down for defense. He's not happy about that knee on belly. I can't say I blame him, but he's left his neck open. First grip has been set the entire time. Second grip comes through, palm up, knuckles down on the ground. Now again, I'm not afraid of getting armbarred at this point or him hyperextending my arm. So I'll go ahead, actually extend my arms at this point. I want my arms locked out, and I'm going to make this shift. Knee on belly is going to go close to the head, and I'm going to spin around, focal point on my knuckles right now, until my opposite knee comes to the opposite side of the head. So I'll essentially pinch my opponent's together. Okay? That motion of that spin just really takes a 90-degree turn to get this, will cause my opponent to have to tap out or go unconscious on this. How did this work? Well, let me show you something. I can go ahead and initiate this with my hands and my fists on the ground like so. When I make my spin, my hands actually don't move, okay? But you'll notice as I make the spin, my forearms come together, they make this X, and that's where this choke comes in. Again, this angle, you'll see it here, my hands are together. The closer my hands are touching, the better. You can see that there's a gap in between my forearms. But when I make this spin, my forearms cross together just on the spin, just on my body motion right here, and that causes the strangulation against the carotid arteries. Okay? So, once my hands are in place, I don't have to move them. I move my whole body, and that's what makes the baseball bat choke such a powerful choke, because my whole body goes into it. Okay? Go ahead and have your feet pointed this way, your head pointed here. Oftentimes, if I have to spin much more than that, there's something wrong with the placement of my hands. Notice I keep my elbows locked out the entire time, and if I need to, I can lean towards my opponent's feet, okay? You don't want to necessarily pull or move back this way. Any kind of motion of flaring your elbows back and out, okay, opens up this here, this action right here, and it makes the choke less effective, or makes the strangulation almost impossible to get at this point. My arms are actually far away from myself. It's counterintuitive to most of the other things, certainly counterintuitive to the classic cross collar choke, but very effective because my whole body gets to go ahead and work that. And that is how we do a baseball bat choke.